he is an amazing, amazing person as far as his body goes, what he can do and what he can tolerate and the things he can do. He's just amazing. So, but every child is different. But babies do need to be adjusted. You know, people are always like, well, I'm scared to get my baby adjusted. You know, why? Like, that baby needs it now more than ever. We want them to have the most optimal potential for good health from the get-go.
Right.
We want to remove those glitches right off the bat so that nervous system is functioning at the highest level it possibly can, so that it can learn and it can grow and it can work and it can do the job it's meant to do. So yes, I'm a big proponent for adjusting. People say, well, what's the youngest age that you would adjust? Well,
Right out
so
of the
far,
womb.
34 minutes.
Right.
You know, I was at the hospital and I adjusted the baby right there in the hospital right after she was delivered. And she's beautiful. And in fact, what was cool about her mother works for me. So she's my goddaughter. So she wanted me there. She's like, you've got to be there. You've got to adjust Becca when
that's
Becca comes
special.
out. Oh, yeah. But she had brought me an ultrasound. And on the ultrasound, you could see the spine. And on the spine, you could see a subluxation, a misalignment of the vertebrae.
Wow.
And she's like, do you see that? Do you see that? Do you see that? Doc, you got to take care of that. As soon as she comes out, you better take care of that. She could see it. It was all rotated. It was the strangest thing. I don't know why it was like that. And I probably had to adjust that particular vertebral segment on her maybe 2 or 3 times before it would stay put. But then after that, it would stay.
Because it was like that for a long time.
Yeah, it was like that from the get-go, from the growth period. But once I had adjusted it like 2 or 3 times, it gave in and it stayed put, and she's miraculous.
And how old is she now?
She's going to be 3 soon.
Aww.
In fact, her birthday's coming up, and I got to go get her a birthday present. I love you, Becca. And, yeah. So, babies. So, we do adjust, and we adjust for things like ear infections and tongue ties and cranial disfiguring, because a lot of times their craniums come out and they've had to either be vacuumed out or suctioned out, or their heads get wonky, and we can adjust that and try to mold that back into shape very gently. Lots of digestive issues, some walking problems, like some babies that I've had come to me, and in fact it's a particular how do I want to put this? Of particular ancestral heritage, I've noticed these certain children have a problem with walking. And so 2.5, they're crawling around on their butts. And it's they're scooting. Do you know what I mean by
I've seen
scooting?
that, yes.
Scooting with their butts. And so I get them, and I start working with them, and I get them walking, and I get them up,
cool.
and I get them walking, which is awesome. So yeah, that's all the things. And a happy baby. I had this one, oh my gosh, talking about walking death. I had a mother bring a baby into me. She was about 7 months old, and the mother came in walking death.
Oh, dear.
She literally had not slept in 7 months. I mean, that baby cried and cried and cried and cried, and nobody could tell her what was wrong. And she was like this for 7 months. And finally somebody told her, you need to take her to Dr. Julia. Dr. Julia will fix that for you. And as much as I love hearing those words, it terrifies me.
Yes.
Because that's a lot of expectation on Dr. Julia. But I'm always up for it, but I can't always guarantee things. But I was like, yeah, I definitely want to give it a go. I want to see what I can do for her. And I adjust her. It was all digestive, everything, every organ system.
So things just were out of whack a little bit.
They just were immature. They just weren't ready to go. They just didn't have the nervous system
ripe
function.
yet.
It wasn't ripe yet, or whatever the case was. And so I got everything working for her. Mother told me she went home and slept 17 hours.
Oh, my God.
That baby slept 17 hours.
So the baby was exhausted as well.
The baby was totally exhausted. My goodness, she hadn't had but a 20-minute nap at a time since she was born. Mother looked better, for sure.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, can you imagine?
No.
And I told her, I said,
look,
your baby's going to sleep, and you're going to think something's wrong, because your baby's going to sleep. She is exhausted, and you're going to think something is wrong. Nothing is wrong. Your baby is exhausted, and she's going to sleep, just so you know. And she came back, and she said, that's exactly what happened. She could not believe it. And ever since then, the baby was fine. Normal. Normal. Mama could sleep. Mama could breathe.
Wow, what
Mama
a relief,
relax.
huh?
Yeah. So I feel really good about that. I feel really good about that. I know. Dylan is just such a good distractor. He is. He's a distractor for me, but I love him. So, yeah, so that and, adjusting people up through pregnancy because, we want them to have the best delivery possible. Adjusting people post-pregnancy to put them back into shape. All of those things, super important. Yeah, I've had some tremendous experiences, actually.
Yes, you have.
I love my babies. I love them. And you know what's so cool is I started in practice 14 years ago-ish. And my babies that I adjusted 14 years ago are now having babies.
Wow.
They're not 14 years old. They're like 20 years old. Right. But I'm looking at them and they're bringing me their babies.
Isn't that fun?
Yeah. And that's so cool to me. And every time I see them, I just flip out. I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't believe it. I remember when you were just this big.
Yeah, how can you be
so
that
cute.
big already?
And you're having your own baby and you're bringing that baby to me. So that really blesses my heart. It really does. I love it. I love babies.
Yep, they are so cute and they smell so good.
Yes. I tell everybody that is the meaning of life, truly. That is our legacy. Our children are the only thing that we leave on this planet Earth that matters. The only thing.
That's right.
Doesn't matter if you erected a statue, if you put all your money into building a hospital and, your name's plastered all over the walls and all. Does not matter a bit because in a million years, that's going to be decayed and decrepit. But hopefully, the human race will live on. And that is our legacy.
Right.
So
that is also the most important job.
Absolutely it is. Right. People should take that more seriously than they do, but that's another topic.
Yes,
that's
it is.
That's a soapbox topic.
And maybe a good one.
Maybe.
That we'll talk about. So we were talking about gardening before, and my topic today is actually the Dirty Dozen and the Clean 15.
I want to know about it.
And this is why I have a garden, and I think it's true for a lot of people that this time of year when everything's starting to ripen now, to go out there and pick lettuce and see where it's coming from. No, there's no pesticides on it. Pick a pepper.
How wonderful is
and
that?
Put a tomato. Our cherry and grape tomatoes are just, they're like candy. They're so delicious.
It's like witnessing birth almost.
It is.
You're witnessing the birth of your fruit and your vegetables, the things you've,
The fruit of our labor.
The fruit of your labor.
Yes.
Exactly.
And I can't eat store-bought tomatoes, not even on a sandwich. They're anemic. They
are.
They're horrible. Yeah. But to pick a tomato that is ripened on the vine and you cut into it and my mouth is watering, red all the way through that tomato, that is such a gift and a blessing. I just love that so
That's your
much.
Mediterranean DNA coming out in you, baby girl. That is. I love it.
We had a really good eggplant year last year, and this year our eggplant isn't doing all that great. Every year it's something different.
It is, and I'm going to tell you what it is this year. I know. Because I've had 3 people bring them to me this week. Cucumbers.
Oh,
cucumbers and pickles are just coming out like nobody's business.
And
I've had a ton of them brought to me,
and
which
what
I love.
A difference in a store-bought cucumber to you wouldn't think there would be.
Oh, so much more flavor.
Oh, my God. It's
like
amazing.
A cucumber from a store doesn't even taste like anything, if you ask me. It's like water.
It is.
I'm like, there's no taste. But fresh from the garden.
Oh, heaven.
Oh, it
heaven.
is. It is. You could make so many nice cocktails out of that.
Yes, you could.
I like cucumber water.
Yep, that's just what I was going to say. Infused water is delicious. Cucumber lemon water.
I only bring up the cocktail because I had a concoction of some sort from somewhere recently.
Ooh, with cucumber?
That had cucumber.
Oh, I
bet
that was scrumptious.
And lime juice, just a squeeze of lime, and cucumbers, and a little vodka. And it was yummo. It was super yummo. It was really refreshing.
I want to make that.
I love cucumbers.
Okay, so
they might have muddled a tiny bit of mint too, with it. Cucumber and mint.
Ooh, that sounds really good.
Yeah.
That sounds like a good deck drink.
I think we're going for drinks after.
I wish.
No.
But another day we should.
Yeah, for sure we will.
Maybe Saturday.
In the evening.
Yes.
Or Saturday.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, key findings of the 2017 Dirty Dozen report.
I want to know.
It's different every year.
Okay.
More than 98% of samples of strawberry, spinach, peaches, nectarines, cherries, and apples tested positive for residue of at least one pesticide.
Ew.
So what does that say?
It says you better be washing your dang old
Exactly.
vegetables and fruits.
Or you'll get diarrhea.
Yeah. Or your liver will go crazy
Right.
on you. And
Right.
You'll get right shoulder pain and right neck pain.
Remember the monkey poop? That's why I said that. Okay.
I tell you, I would have been muscle testing every single piece of fruit. Has this one got poop? Has this one got poop? Has this one got poop? We're talking about Survivor.
Yes.
No, it wasn't Survivor.
No,
What
it was something.
Naked and Afraid.
Naked and Afraid, yeah.
Naked and Afraid.
I don't want to ever be on that for
They
so
all
many
got
reasons.
sick, but not all of them got sick. But some of them got sick because they ate fruit. And everybody ate the fruit, but some of the fruit they decided later had been tainted by the monkeys that were above it in the trees pooping on it.
Monkey
So
poop.
I'm thinking these people are supposed to be like
Survivalists.
So wouldn't they think I should probably wash this fruit? Because just in my own kitchen, the first thing I think when I pull a piece of fruit out is I should wash this
That's
fruit.
right.
So I don't even know what.
I don't know
but
what they were thinking. There weren't any pesticides
they
on
weren't
it, but
thinking.
there
They
was
didn't have any
monkey
calories. They didn't have
food.
any sugar in them.
Right.
So they weren't
Good
thinking.
point.
They were
Right.
like, I'm just going to eat this.
Right.
They lost it.
That literally.
Literally.
It went right
Both
through
ends.
them. A single sample of strawberries showed, of course, I got a phone call right then, 20 different pesticides. Spinach. That's why strawberries are very bad. But wait, we'll talk about that.
Ooh.
Spinach samples had on average twice as much pesticide residue by weight than any other crop. Spinach.
How are you supposed to wash your spinach good? Like, I got a little fruit brush.
In a,
But, otherwise I'm just rinsing the spinach. That makes me nervous.
Well, more than 80% of pineapples, papayas, asparagus, onions, and cabbage had no pesticide residues.
Ooh. Is that
No
because they're from a certain place, I wonder?
Or because they're not, they have their own built-in pesticides. Bugs don't eat them, so they don't have to spray them.
Oh, well, there you go.
No single fruit sample from the Clean 15 tested positive for more than 4 types of pesticides.
Well, that's good. Good
So
news.
here's the Dirty Dozen list and the Clean 15.
Okay, Dirty Dozen first.
Strawberries. So these are the fruits that you should buy organic. Strawberries you should always buy organic because there's even pesticides in the soil. When we lived in California, way before bottled water was popular, we had bottled water in this one area that grew a lot of strawberries because we knew what they were doing. Spinach, nectarines, apples, peaches, pears, cherries, grapes, celery, tomatoes, sweet bell peppers, and potatoes.
Really?
That's the Dirty Dozen. Now, some types of potatoes are not
As bad as others?
right. Yukon Golds and Redskins are
Those
the
are better?
best, right?
Okay.
For your not only because of pesticides, but because of the way they're, grown and the sugar content and everything. They're just better for you.
Okay.
Here's the Clean 15. Surprising. Some of these surprise me. Sweet corn.
Yeah, but they got their own little jacket.
That's true. Good point.
Yeah. They're all covered up.
They might be GMOs, so you kind of have to watch for that. But what's so bad?
I still want to have that fella on I was telling you about, the whole GMO thing. He's got a whole cool philosophy.
Oh,
on
you
that.
should bring him because I've heard a lot. That would be very interesting.
He's a pro-GMO guy.
See, and
That's what he's worried
that's
about.
why
He don't
I
want to
would
come
like
on
to have-
and talk because he's afraid everybody's going to.
We don't have to say his name or anything.
No, he can.
No.
He can wear a bag.
Right, and we can disguise his voice. We can do a lot of things. Avocados, pineapples.
These are all good.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Clean 15.
Oh, again,